Hey, scrappy people. Traci Reed here today, reaching way back into time to my very first collection for simple stories. I believe it was 2015. It's called So Rad, and I'm using these photos of my oldest at open mic night for the school. And I'm using this collection specifically because because there are lots of music and electric guitar references in it, and then I never use the electric guitar references, so there is that. I'm using a Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted album, and I'm going to be using page protectors as well. There are some new page protectors from Citrus Twist. These are going to be 4x4 page protectors. I'm using this 6x8 page that I cut from one of the cut apart sheets from Simple Stories way back when they used to do 6x8 pages, because the Citrus Twist Kits album is 5 by 8.25. I had to extend vertically that page, so that's what I was doing right there. I've also cut out some of the 4x4 cards from the collection and put them in that album, or those page protectors. So what I'm doing here is I have all of these, they're photo overlays or 4x6s. I have them saved. I haven't actually used this line a lot because I was sitting on it forever because it was my very first line and I wanted to have it in my stash, but then I grew out of that. I have so much product I've created over the years that if I held on to all of it, it would need its own storage room. So I am digging into this stash, and so I have all of these older products. And I decided to use some of these photo overlays because they were something that I probably would not use generally. I like the idea of them, but I actually don't use a lot of like 4x6 photos or things that would make sense for it. So I'm going to cut them up and I'm going to use them on this page in a different way. So you can see the first way that I use it was I put it at the bottom of that 5-inch photo. Now I'm going to use them sort of like you would stamping in the background of this page. So I'm sticking down my photos to the overlay, and then I'm going to take the one that says So Rad and I'm going to put it over the top so it's sort of a title in the middle of the two photos. So I'm making sure that I'm not like repeating phrases before I do that. So I'm going to put this right in the middle of the two photos, but I'm going to trim it off first because I don't need the full 4x6 overlay. And the way that I'm going to do that so that you can't see the adhesive is I'm just going to use liquid adhesive and I'm going to put it only behind the letters themselves. You could staple it down instead. I thought about putting it behind this photo so that the adhesive on the photo would stick to the overlay, but I didn't like the way that that looked, so we're going to add liquid glue to the back of every letter and then just plop it right down. Of course, the dangers of liquid glue are that once it's down, it's down. You cannot move it once it's dry, and even when it's wet, you're going to leave liquid glue everywhere if you try and move it again. So that is that. It is down for good. So I pulled out some stickers and things that I thought would work from the collection. A lot of clear stickers. That's kind of what I'm focusing on for this page are clear stickers so far, so that's what I am adding. I wanted to add a few more stars to sort of extend the way that the stars interacted with this page because there were some blank spots, so I'm adding them here and there. Okay. I really wanted to use that "You Truly Amaze Me" sticker, but there were so many words already, and I knew I wanted to add a title, so I was struggling a little bit with where to put it. It doesn't end up on this page at all, which makes me sort of sad because that's really what I wanted to use the most, but things don't always work out the way that you want, right? So I'm going to add my photo, or add my title to my photo, and I purposefully printed this photo very large so that I could add the title to it. So I'm adding that open mic night along the same lines as the ceiling of the amphitheater. I think that that sort of works with the photo and doesn't detract from it. Also, following those lines, your eyes automatically want to follow that line on that photo. So adding my title to that line sort of, doesn't clash with the photo itself. adding in more stars, of course, because there are stars on the other page. And of course, you got that whole like rock star, superstar vibe. It all makes sense. Okay, so phew, we are getting there. I knew I wanted to add in, I finally got in that "you amaze me." I knew I wanted to add in journaling as well, but there were no places yet to put my journaling. So I'm sort of contemplating what I want to do with that. And I decided that I want to get rid of this "you rock" and put my journaling over that instead. And I'm going to use this pocket to add my journaling. So I'm going to take this "you rock" out, and I'm going to maybe flip it over and adhere that pocket there. I'm not quite sure yet, but I did know that I wanted to use like a journaling card, so I wrote my journaling on the journaling card, and I'm going to pick a different card. I'm just going to do this black in the background, and I'm going to adhere the pocket to the black paper, and then everything's going to have to be trimmed down just slightly because it is just a little bit over 4 inches tall. But I like the way that that looks. And also, since it's on the top of the page, you'll be able to pull out that journaling card fairly easily. Of course, the top was blank to add, your own embellishment to it. So I'm going to add in some word strips. Turn it up, live life out loud seemed perfect. And then I need the date. So I'm going to add that to the tab. And then I also need to embellish that photo in the page protector. That photo is of my other kid, the one sitting on the ground videotaping, so I knew that I wanted to include some of that too. So I put this word bit down and it says "you are the coolest," which I had already used. So I'm going to end up replacing that. But I need to figure out what to put on this photo first. I don't realize that I'd used the same phrase twice quite yet. All of these embellishments are a little bit big for this format, so I'm struggling just a little bit with what to put here. I think I'm going to end up putting more stars instead of, larger embellishments. Oh yes, not stars, music notes, of course, which I promptly drop because that's how I roll. Goodness, dropped it twice. That's okay. I'm going to cover up the dropping with this epic, and then I'm going to put another something or other up there. This, I knew I incorporated stars. I knew it. There we go. I'm going to use cork stars because there is cork on the page in other places. Trim this off while I'm at it. Perfect. So I'm going to put this in the album and see how it looks. That's when I realized that I have the same word bit twice. So I'm going to change that out and then I'll call it good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. And I will see you next time. All right. Thank you.